Okay, so thank you so much for joining again. Tonight we are talking about staying healthy, which I know is a big topic on everyone's minds right now. And we have already done in our 30-minute virtual class series, we have already actually started. Let me just check something super quick. Sorry, something is. All is good. Okay, we've already started these, and for those of you who have joined, we did healthy homes, we've done essential oils for little ones, we've done essential oils and emotions, we've spoken about why Ningxia is essential, we've spoken about essential rewards, which is Young Living's loyalty program, and we've discussed essential oils, which is tonight. Sorry, that's what we're talking about tonight, is essential oils for staying healthy and some other things that you can do. Next week, we'll be talking about the Young Living business opportunity, which you're all invited to join. Okay, so who am I? For those of you who don't know, my name is Jade Elmaleh, and thanks again for joining tonight and making the time. So I'm really passionate about empowering moms and everyone truly with the knowledge of how to embark on a wellness journey, caring for their family using natural plant-based products. So tonight, we're going to cover an introduction, what essential oils are, how they work, some safety guidelines and dilutions, and then we'll go through some specific applications and recipes, and then we'll recap and go over what's next. So, we like to say, you sick again, maybe it's time you tried those hippie oils, and you see, here's some other medicines here, and truly, they are awesome, they do work, and it's an alternative to what you might be used to. So what are essential oils? They are the lifeblood of a plant. They are there to protect and strengthen the plant. They're unique, it's a volatile fluid. They are adaptogenic, they're antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, and antibacterial. They are extracted from any part of the plant and all different parts. It absolutely depends what it is that we are, what's the most nutrient dense. So they do come from roots, leaves, barks, and seeds. They use low heat, steam distillation, or resin tapping. A quick note, I'm seeing some of you are raising your hands, so I will come to questions at the end, just in the interest of time, since honestly, we only have 30 minutes. So I will double check and keep my chat open, just to make sure that if anyone does have an important question that I can see it. Okay, so, and again, reminder very quickly for those of you who are just jumping on, please write in the chat your full name, your email address, and if you are a member or not. That just helps me, and then that will enter you into the raffle, and we can take it from there. Okay, and also we can follow up with that email after tonight's class. All right, so again, essential oils are extracted from all different parts of the plant. We use low heat, steam distillation, or resin tapping. They are tiny in size, so they have 40 million trillion molecules in just one drop. So they're extremely concentrated, and we know that they are 70 times stronger than herbs that you would find in your garden. I can see some of you writing in the chat. Please, if you can, just write it in one full thing, your full name, your email address, and if you are a member or not, you can keep it in one comment instead of entering each time. All right, so sorry, admin work. Okay, how quickly do essential oils work? So in 22 seconds, the molecules reach the brain. In 2 minutes, they'll be found in the bloodstream. In 20 minutes, they'll affect every single cell in the body. And how is this possible? It's because their size is so tiny, and our inherent human receptors make it a perfect natural medicine. So it's truly one of the only things that can cross the blood-to-brain barrier. A lot of traditional medication, it does not. It gets stopped. And that is because if you had to break down medicine and how it's working, it's not small enough. Those particles are not small enough to cross over. So essential oils really are quite powerful. All right, so there are 3 methods of use that we use essential oils for. So the 3 methods are aromatic, topical, and internal. So aromatic use, we're using things like a diffuser. I have mine going right here, you guys can see it. We also use essential oils topically, which means on our skin, and then we use them internally with, either a capsule, or we can add it to our water or to flavor food. So we'll touch base on some of those in a little bit through our recipes. So why Young Living? Young Living goes beyond organic cultivation. They use native farming practices and they have over 25 years of experience. And they really believe in positive energy. And what does that mean? It means that they feel that it is so important to go beyond any organic measurement or set of standards, I mean. So we know over here in the United States, for a farm to claim that it is organic, it has to have gone like 3 years of being pesticide free. So Young Living goes way beyond that, and they actually test the soil and they can see way back what has been happening in this, whatever's in the earth that might be impure. They ensure that that is eradicated, and it's just far more than just the traditional organic practices. So we call it beyond organic. And the positive energy bit, which is pretty awesome, they believe that farmers that are working in the fields need to be positive and have a good energy about them, because energy is everything and everything is energy. And a quick thing on that truly plants do their best when they are even spoken to and dealt with high energy. Things like you are, telling the plants, you're thriving, I love you, I'm going to give you all the food and energy and sunlight that you need. And they literally do this. And it might sound like hippie, hoo-hoo, wah-wah kind of stuff, but it really works. They've actually done science experiments where they've had plant A and B, and they're both given equal sunlight, equal nutrients, equal everything. And plant A is spoken to super positively, being told you're amazing, you're thriving, you're giving us life. And plant B is spoken to super negatively, like you are dying, you are wilting, you are awful. And lo and behold, plant B actually wilts and starts to die, and plant A thrives, even though they were given equal, nutrition. Okay, so harvesting and distillation practices. So Young Living uses the correct time. It's a slow, low heat, and we do one-time distillation only. Our oils are 100% pure. So super important here, because sadly, no one is actually regulating enough of what labels are saying or claiming to say. So when someone writes, on their label, 100% pure, sadly, they could be putting 5% of the essential oil, and then they're actually filling the rest of the bottle either with synthetics or with carrier oil or all sorts of things, which means we can't actually trust what's out there on the shelves in stores. But I can absolutely guarantee and assure you that what is going into any bottle of Young Living essential oil is absolutely just the oil that came from the plant that it was distilled from. So we also have what's called our seed to seal promise, or our seed to seal guarantee. And this means that from the time that seeds are chosen, and they are of course, they are organic seeds, they're non-GMO, and they are from the time that the seeds are chosen till the time that a bottle is actually sealed with the oil in it. Young Living has controlled every single step of the process. So there is no outsourcing. Most companies are using third-party brokers, and we can't trust what they're doing. A lot of them pour everything, they have the plant and they actually add chemicals to strip the oil from the plant. And that's awful. And that's what a lot of people are then being left with. Companies are mass producing things because they see that it's become, like, aromatherapy has gained a lot of popularity. And so sadly, lots of other companies, what they're doing is they're just mass producing things and watering them down, and they're not actually testing, and these oils are not made for therapeutic benefits. We are using our oils 1000% for the therapeutic benefits of them. So we can proudly say that, our essential oils are definitely pure. Okay. So I know tonight's talk is actually on staying healthy, mostly for adults. I have done a talk on kids, but I did just want to touch on this for those of you that do have children, since most of us do. Well, a lot of us do, not most of us. Okay, so dilution ratios for kids and safety guidelines. If you have a child that is 6 months to 1 year old, you want to dilute 4 times the label recommendation. A nice rule of thumb is 1 drop of essential oil for every 50 drops of carrier oil. And carrier oil is going to be the average oils you're finding in your kitchen. For example, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, well, in this instance, fractionated coconut oil, and MCT oil, So it's all of those are going to be considered carrier oil. Its job is to carry the essential oil from one place to another and also to dilute it. Okay, if you have a 2 to 5 year old, you want to dilute 3 times the label recommendation. And if you have a 5 to 10 year old, you want to dilute 2 times the label recommendation. Generally speaking, once a child is 12 years and older, they could pretty much follow a lot of the adult ratios with recipes and such. But you know your children, and if they are more sensitive, tread lightly. And also, if you are new to Young Living essential oils, we really say start slow and go low. So use less essential oil drops and, you know, definitely dilute it a little bit more because they are very, very potent. So tonight we're going to cover some recipes and discussions on immunity, colds and cough, head woes, which is anything to do with, you know, pains with our head, digestion and stomach, allergies and asthma, calming and sleep, and then healthy skin repair. So immunity, this is the talk of the town at the moment, right? So here's some ideas for preventative stuff. So for those of you who are running around and doing your grocery shopping, this is what I am doing. I'm taking an empty bottle of Thieves essential oil. It's 15 mils, and I'm getting a spray top, which we actually sell them at Hello Bottles if you want to get it from there. And we're putting in 8 drops of, sorry, I actually have it here. It's 6 drops of Thieves essential oil. I add 3 drops of lemon essential oil. Both of those do come in a premium starter kit. Then you want to add a tiny splash of witch hazel. And witch hazel, you want to get the one that is unscented, ideally. So you can get that from Discam or Clicks. Any of them are fine. If you don't have that, you can use like a vodka. It's okay. You just need a tiny amount, like literally a splash. I would say half a teaspoon would go into this. And then you want to fill it with water. You would then shake it a little. And before you go, you can spray your mask. Or honestly, I just will spray this on my hands and around my face just to kind of kill the germs. So that's something that I'm doing. And I have these in each of mine and my husband's cars and in my purse. And I even have given to my kids. They're both actually at camp. It's a whole outdoor camp, but I still spray them and spray everything that we can before we leave the house. So it's a nice way to kind of spray your mask. And of course, you can use it as a hand sanitizer as well. Okay, Ningxia Red, the stuff is amazing. When you get it, definitely put them in the fridge. They always taste better cold. And I know it's so cold in South Africa, but still it's nice to store and keep them in the fridge. Before you drink them, give it a little shake. And this is absolutely safe for children. It's safe for pregnant women. It's safe for people with diabetes. With diabetics, you just want to check. This question comes up a lot, so I'm bringing it up. The sugar in this little packet is 5 grams. So in this packet. So most diabetics already know that they have a certain amount of grams of sugar they are allowed in a day. So let's just say that it is 10 grams that they're allowed. You just want to account for this being in your daily allotted amount. So for me, I would, you know, if I was diabetic, I'd say, okay, I've had 5 grams. I've got 5 grams left that I can use towards whatever, eating an apple or whatever the equivalent would be. Okay, so what is Ningxia Red? It is a powerful superfood drink with wolfberry puree. It's grown in Ningxia province in China. It's actually pronounced Ningxia, like Ninsha, but a lot of us call it ninja juice because it works like a ninja, and a lot of our kids like to refer to it as that. It is safe, as I said, for all ages, amazing for pregnant women, amazing. It energizes, it fortifies and replenishes the body. So it has the highest levels of naturally occurring age-defying S-auric activity. That is like a superfood, the auric. We did a whole class on Ningxia Red, so if you want to know more about that, feel free to email and ask me, and you can actually learn. But every food has like a value attached to it of how much of a superfood it is, how much antioxidants it has. Yeah, Ningxia is one of the highest in all of these. So it helps support immune function, cardiovascular health, and it nourishes the eyes as well. You'll notice that sometimes we speak in code, like nourish the eyes. What the heck does that mean? It fuels the eyes. It gives your eyes what they need to function properly. The reason that we have to sometimes talk in code is just because we have to be compliant, because our products are not completely 100% FDA approved, which means the Federal Drug and Administration. So this is all, you know, it's just one of those tricky things with a drug versus alternatives and homeopathic options. So just mentioning that, if you notice, like the words we're using, like head woes, why don't I just say headache? Because we can't make claims, for example, this is brilliant for a headache. But since I'm chatting to you guys, I can in this context. And just to note, I'm not a doctor. So everything I'm sharing with you tonight is based on my experience and my feelings about all these products. Okay, so otherwise, Ningxia contains flavorful and health supporting essential oils. It has orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine. And it's got 93% D-limonene, which is a powerful antioxidant and a marker for bioactivity. So it helps maintain the body's normal cellular function. I kind of see it as like the replacement when we feel depleted. So having one of these a day, by the way, is going to be amazing for you. And if you did want to like save it or share it out, you can definitely. I have 2 kids. They love it so much, so they actually each get a sachet a day. But you can actually tear this and pour half and half in little glasses for them or little cups for them. And if you do have a 6-month-old, it's totally safe and fine. You just want to add a little bit more water. It tastes delicious. Like most concerns I have is my kids wanting more and me saying, you're good, you're done for the day, we'll have more tomorrow. Okay, the next one I like to talk about is a wellness roller. So I have mine here that I use on my kids every day. My one for me is actually upstairs in my bathroom, because I'll use it when I come out the shower, or I'll use it before I go to bed. So this is a way that we're using the essential oils topically. So when we use things topically, we want to use, this is Young Living's V6 on the image here. It's their V6 vegetable complex carrier oil. And so you need to have a carrier oil to make a roller bottle. So what you would do is you would get a glass, an empty glass roller bottle, and you would put your essential oils in here when we're making the recipe. Once you're done with the essential oils, you're going to add a carrier. And some tips is put this down on a table so that it's not going to knock anywhere. Don't talk to anyone when you're counting out your drops into the bottle. And also when you are ready to fill it up, I like the pumps. But the other alternative is, this is olive oil. I don't really like to use it in my rollers because I find that it starts to smell like olive oil, which I just like the smell of the oils more. So my recommendation for you guys is MCT oil, which you can get at Discam or Clicks. And you would then use that as the carrier oil. But a good idea is to get a dropper bottle like this and decant some of that in there. So now you can very neatly and easily actually drop the carrier oil into the roller bottle. So this one happens to have 5 drops of Purification, 5 drops of Thieves, 3 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of lemon, and then 1 drop of oregano. I think that is super important. This is actually the kids ratio, the kids dilution. So for adults, I actually recommend pretty much doubling this recipe. So I would do in fact, no, I would even do triple the amount. I would do 15 drops of Purification, 15 drops of Thieves, about 8 drops of frankincense, 8 drops of lemon, and then I would do 3 drops of oregano, and you're going to fill it with a carrier oil. Now, when it comes to these recipes, is there a perfect recipe? No, you're going to play around, but these are the oils that are best for immunity. If you are still new to essential oils, this recipe right here is perfect for you. So I recommend doing this. If you've been using them for 2 weeks or a month, you could replace your immunity roller and double what you're seeing as an adult. For children, we're going to keep it at this all the time. I never use more than this for them, okay? And by the way, this is safe for a 3-year-old and up. Okay, Thieves Tea. Man, I love my Thieves Tea, truly. And it's actually summer over here and dead of winter for you guys. I still drink this all the time. I even make like an iced Thieves Tea if I want to. So very easy recipe. You want to take a mug, tablespoon of honey. I actually have an electric kettle where I can set it to not boil the whole way. It can actually boil it to a lower temperature. If you do boil it the whole way, let it cool a little bit, because you want like warm water, not boiling hot water. So or you can just make it and let it cool. 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 drop of Thieves, and we say Vitality. Now in South Africa, you aren't going to get these Vitality oils, which are exactly the same thing. So Thieves in the regular bottle and Thieves in a Vitality bottle, same stuff inside the bottle. What happened is Young Living took these oils to the Federal Drug Administration and said, can you agree that our oils, these particular ones, not all essential oils are safe for internal use? Please note, not all, okay? We follow the French method of essential oils, and there are 3 different schools of thought. There is the English, the German, and the French. And the English, they believe in using the essential oils topically only, so only on our skin. The German believe that it's okay to actually use the oils aromatically only. But the French believe when they are pure, you can use all 3 uses, so aromatically, topically, and internally. So yes, Young Living essential oils are safe for internal consumption, but there are about 47 of them that are safe. And so they took it to the FDA, and the FDA said, yes, we agree they are, but you need to label it as a different label to distinguish so people would know, and we wouldn't have any issue with someone actually ingesting as something that isn't safe for internal use. The same way that even though poison ivy is found in nature, it's not really a friend of our skin, and we will actually break out into a rash. So just important for you to be aware of that we have 47 safe for internal use oils. And right now in South Africa, we actually cannot make that claim. So this is why I've tried to be careful, and I'm using the word vitality. But please don't worry, the Thieves that you have in your hand is the exact same as the Thieves Vitality. And the reason that the FDA did this is because they said, we do not allow a label to state all 3 methods of use in one label. You can only state 2 methods of use. So if you're telling us, and we agree that your Thieves is safe for topical, for internal, and aromatic use, you cannot put all 3 on one label. Therefore, create a new label and label that one for internal use only. Hope that makes sense. So basically, don't obsess. Just learn which oils are safe for internal use, and then it matters not which one you have in your hands. Some of us are able to get some stuff from overseas, from friends or family who might be visiting and such, and they might have a vitality for you. The lemon that's in that lemon vitality is the same as the lemon essential oil that is in the non-vitality label bottle. So that is that. So anyway, for the Thieves Tea, we're going to do 1 drop of Thieves essential oil, 2 drops of lemon. You have that honey, stir it, and then enjoy. This is safe for the whole family. I do recommend if you have a 1-year-old, of course you're using honey, and we all know that you can only give honey to a baby that is 1. If they're younger than 1 and you have a 6-month-old who you think might be sick, here's what you're going to do. You're going to replace it with agave or maple syrup instead, and you are going to dilute it by half. So what I do is I take my mug that has my Thieves Tea and I pour half out. I then add more honey if they're over 1, and I fill it with water, and then I put it in a sippy cup. So basically they are having a ratio of 1 part Thieves Tea, 1 part water with a little bit more honey, just because Thieves can be a bit spicy. My kids love this stuff. They love it. And another fun thing is sometimes I'll actually drop those essential oils onto a rooibos tea bag and make it the same way. So just a fun one for you guys to do at home. Okay, so here is a fantastic recipe. And by the way, don't worry about writing these all down. I will share all of these slides with you after and the recording. That's why I'm asking for your email addresses. So just make sure to include your email address. So when we are feeling sick, as in my husband and myself, so this is for adults, we are taking a capsule. This is the days that I wake up with swollen glands, sore throat, I don't feel very good. So you can buy capsule holders, which definitely make life easier, or you can even take a piece of bread and stick it in. You can keep capsules for up to 2 weeks, but we say make them in advance and then stick it in your freezer, and then they will last, and then you can take them, you know, as needed. So this particular recipe, you would have your capsule like this. You would add 4 drops of Thieves essential oil, 3 drops of oregano. By the way, oregano is the antibiotic in the essential oil world. If you don't have that oil, you need to add it to your order now, because it is so important to have this during cold and flu season. And right now it's a global pandemic. My strongest recommendation is to get oregano. There really isn't an equal substitute for this oil, honestly. I mean, there's other things that we could use, but you know, right now South Africa doesn't get something like Mountain Savory. So oregano was the first oil that I purchased outside of my starter kit. So super important. Okay, quick question I got about the immunity roller. Where do you apply it? Sorry, I should have mentioned that. I put that under my feet and under my kids' feet. We have the largest pores under our feet, so it's very good to roll it there. Also, because there are some hot oils. Hot oils are oils that might feel like stinging or burning on the skin. And by the way, if for whatever reason your kid or you got thieves on their face or close to an eye and it starts to sting and burn, run and grab carrier oil and just use that to dilute it out. Do not go to soap and water. It's not going to help, okay? Water and oils don't really mix so well. This is why we use witch hazel when we make sprays, because it's helping it to mix. This is why when we're putting oils in our bath, we're actually putting them in Epsom salts. We're not just dropping oils into a bathtub, because they're going to sit on the surface and then it's going to bother our skin, okay? So the immunity roller, I like to do it down the spine on my children and under their feet. If someone is sick, I will use it every 2 hours on them. I will go down the spine and under feet, like approximately every 2 or 3 hours. If someone is just trying to prevent sickness, I'm doing it 2 times a day. And then just general day-to-day, well, maintenance, once a day is totally fine. Okay, so back to the capsules. You would take this empty capsule, you're going to put 4 drops of Thieves, and then you're going to do 3 drops of oregano, 2 drops of frankincense, and 2 drops of lemon. Then you're going to get your olive oil like this, which I've put into a dropper bottle, and you are going to drop it in to the capsule like that, and you're going to put the lid and click, it pops on. Hello Bottles does sell all of these things, the dropper bottles, the capsules, all of these little extras. So feel free to look at them, hellobottles.com. And you can also get these capsules from, you just want to look for veggie capsules, and you can get them from any health food store as well. The size is 00. So those are the ones that you're going to want, and you definitely want to choose the veggie caps. Okay, so I recommend if you've woken up with swollen glands, you want to take this 2 times a day. And another very important thing to note is please take a probiotic either an hour before or an hour after. Why? Because oregano is going to wipe out good and bad bacteria. And so we need to replace the good bacteria. So with your kids, giving them a nice healthy Greek yogurt or something along those lines is also great, but you want to wait an hour later or an hour before. I also find that oregano is a little strong, so I make sure to take this on with food. I don't take it on an empty stomach, but you do want to take it 2 times in a day. And I know I mentioned children, sorry, it's because my daughter, who is 7, is a trooper, and she will take a capsule. So for her, if she's really feeling sick, in fact, on Monday, she was coughing and like I could just tell getting a cold. So I made 1 capsule for her with 1 drop of Thieves, 1 drop of oregano. I just did 1 drop of each of those, added olive oil, and she took the capsule, no problem. So you need to do what feels right for you and your family. All right, so let's talk about some throat stuff. So you wake up, your throat's feeling scratchy and sore. You can make a spray bottle, so a 50 ml spray bottle. And in this, you would add 10 drops of frankincense, 10 drops of Thieves, 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of tea tree, 4 drops of lemon, and a little bit of MCT oil. Fill it with water, shake it, and you can spray inside your throat. But here's a fun little secret for you guys. Young Living makes this Thieves spray. This is amazing to have in your purse to spray on your shopping trolleys and all the rest of it, like all the things on countertops. But we don't use toxins in our products. So this for me is my throat spray. Now they can't list it and say throat spray, use it in your throat, because we're not allowed to label that our household cleaner is safe to use in your mouth if you wanted to. But I'm telling you that I have used this as a throat spray and it is brilliant. So if you don't feel like doing a DIY and doing it yourself, this is so good. And I just literally aim it to the back of my throat and just spray. This has helped so much. Another thing that is so fantastic is our mouthwash, because it's actually got a colloidal silver base. And so it is so good for killing germs and keeping stuff away. Okay, Purification, just the essential oil also, by the way, on its own. If you have a dry, scratchy, swollen lymph nodes, 1 drop in the palm of your hand, and you want to put it on the outside like this, and you want to go in a downward motion. So down on the glands and over on the outside of the neck. If you have little ones, you're going to add some coconut oil. You can use the cold pressed kind, you know, the one that goes hard when it's cold. Just put like about a teaspoon in your hand, warm it up, add the drop of Purification and put it all around them. And we're going to talk about how this is great for sore ears as well later. Okay, by the way, quick note is Purification is photosensitive. I know it's winter time, but you don't want to use that and go in the sun. It will feel like it's burning. So you do want to make sure to use it either at night or just use it and stay outside of the sun, okay? Fever blisters. I don't know how many of you get fever blisters, but this is also a sign of stress. It's a sign of getting sick. This is, you know, herpes zoster virus. And so if you do get a fever blister, instead of using stuff that has tons of toxins on it, I won't mention names of things, but literally just take your Thieves, 1 drop, and you put it neat on your lip. Yes, it's going to burn and it's going to tingle, but that thing is there to kill that little rubbish that's developing on your lip right away. And then you can also do an internal capsule of 1 drop of oregano with olive oil, and you want to take that 2 times a day for 3 days, because clearly there's stuff going on that your body needs to help fight it off. All right, colds and coughs continued. This is for if you feel that you have a temperature. So what you want to do is 2 drops of peppermint and 2 drops of frankincense. This is again going to be safe for a child. So for an adult, I would go up to 5 drops of peppermint even and 5 drops of frankincense. I would add a teaspoon of organic coconut oil. This you can do in the palm of your hands. And I like to rub it down the spine, on the back of neck and around navel. Anytime I think temperature, I think of the words T and the letters T-O. T, make the T on the back of the person. So it goes behind the neck is the top of the T, and down the spine is the, you know, the part of the T, and then around the belly is the O. So anytime there's a fever, I think T-O, okay? And I keep the oils like away from hands and such. But if they are very little and they're toddlers, you just want to do it under their feet. I wouldn't even like go on the body. And we do say usually belly button down. So not on their privates, but just underneath their belly on the lower abdomen. Okay, breathe easy. So if you're feeling congested, stuffy, the 2 oils that are brilliant are RC and or Raven. I prefer Raven when there's someone who's telling you that they're asthmatic. And I like RC if it's going to be more like a croup cough or a serious cough. RC is definitely stronger. It's got all 3 types of eucalyptus in it. And for those of us on Essential Rewards, which is Young Living's loyalty program, or if you haven't yet got your starter kit and you're thinking of getting it, definitely purchase it as an Essential Rewards order, because you don't have to pay more, but you're going to get this oil free this month in July, which is awesome. I love this oil. It is in my winter wellness toolkit every year. I have RC, Purification, Thieves, oregano, frankincense, and lemon. Always during winter. I do not run out of those oils, okay? So for this one, it's a topical roller. You would take a 10 ml roller again, 12 drops of RC. This is an adult recipe. 8 drops of lemon, 8 drops of Purification. Fill it with carrier oil and roll it on a chest. Again, for a child, you just want to do about 1/3 of this amount. So cold and cough continue. It's aromatic, so we can do in our diffuser when we go to sleep. You know how irritating it is when you have that tickle and every time you lie down, it's like you feel like you have to cough. I don't know what we did before we had RC. I'll tell you what I know. I know that we used humidifiers and my walls would be crying, leaking and drenched with water. And I feel like it was just circulating germs. And I feel like it just didn't really help. So that is what we did before. Sorry, let me mute everyone again. That is what we did before we used these oils. And now we just diffuse RC or Raven in our diffuser, and it is such a help. I could not be without those oils now. So for topical, this is now making a chest rub. So you want to get a glass jar like this one, and you want to take a ceramic bowl or a stainless steel bowl or a glass bowl, and now you want to get the cold pressed hard coconut oil. And the recipe for this is to make a chest rub. So you're going to take 1/2 cup of this. You're going to mix it with a fork. You can use an electric mixer if you want. And then you're going to add 10 drops of peppermint, 10 drops of Melrose, 10 drops of bergamot, and 10 drops of RC or Raven. Mix it all together, put that into a tub. It lasts really long. Sadly, Vicks chest rub is very toxic. So this is going to be much better, and it's going to be safe for the whole family. If you do have younger kids, please take exactly what you made and add another half cup of coconut oil, and then keep theirs, you know, have a child's version. So that is my recommendation for that. Okay, here's what I was telling you about purification for sore ears, or for, you know, anything in the inside of the ear, and swollen glands. This helps so much. So this is one option. We never put essential oils in our orifices. Okay, I don't take an oil and I drop it in my ear. No, 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 no. So instead, you're going to use cotton wool ball, and you could just take 1 drop of purification, put it on the cotton wool, and then gently place it inside the ear here. Not hard, don't force it in. It's not an earplug, it's just on kind of the outside. You can see in that image, it's loosely placed. The other idea is you can also take a drop of tea tree oil and put it on the outside of the ear. And you can also have purification, put 1 drop in the palm of your hand and put it on the outside of the ear and down the gland. Again, if you have a little one, add a bit of coconut oil in your hand before you actually put it on the outside. I've literally seen for myself and other people, this has avoided antibiotics for an ear infection. Okay, headaches. This is a great one. You can take something internally. It's a brilliant tip. You could take a drop of frankincense, then you put your thumb and you actually put it on the roof of your palate. Sounds crazy, it works. Trust me, try it, it's worth it. Another option that I've seen people do that I don't have written down here, but it's Thieves. And you can layer. You can do 1 frankincense and 1 Thieves later on. Someone asks, would the throat spray be good for tonsils? Yes, amazing. If you have any kind of like tonsillitis or any kind of infection or inflammation, you're going to want to use the mouthwash. Is brilliant. So for people who say, oh, I often get those canker sores or stuff that happens in my mouth when I'm stressed or I'm getting sick, I'm telling you, use the mouthwash, and this throat spray is brilliant. Okay, back to head tension. So you can make a roller bottle. We're going to do a 10 ml roller bottle, 10 drops of pan away, 10 drops of Valor, 8 drops of Copaiba, and 8 drops of peppermint. Fill it with carrier oil. We say roll on temples. Honestly, I just do an up down. I take my roller bottle like this and I actually just touch my temples, and I use my hand to massage it, because we're using a lot of hot oils, but they're brilliant and they work well. And if it got in your eyes and they're bothered, and you're firstly just calm, and then blink a lot, and then if you need to, go and grab your coconut oil and just use some. Yes, it's safe to put coconut oil in your eye if you need to, and that's going to dilute it out and take the sting away. Okay. Body aches. So deep relief. Young Living sells these amazing things called Aroma Glide fitments. If you don't have these, you want to add it to your order. They are brilliant. So this is so good to put for, you know, sore and tired, achy muscles. So a lot of people who are, you know, possibly getting flu and saying they have body aches and chills, you can also get deep relief. And you would then replace the cap that you have. It's so easy. I should show you with a regular. Oh, of course I don't have it here. I'll show you guys super quick how easy it is to take off the dropper lid and then replace it with an Aroma Glide fitment. So you would actually take this, like, you know, the oil like this, you put the cap on, you squeeze it and pop, it comes off, and then you will get the Aroma Glide fitment. And you can even, you take it with your hands and just drop it in and screw this on, and then it replaces your roller with that. And if you need to go back to the dropper, same thing. Just go to the side and just pop it off. It's really not that hard. Super, super simple. I love these droppers because they actually have a patent on these Aroma Glide fitments to not leak. And they're awesome. They really don't leak well. They don't leak a lot. Okay, so for this one, you can make your own rub with 20 drops of deep relief and half a cup of cold pressed coconut oil. Mix it with a fork. You could also add the Aroma Glide like I just showed you. Deep relief, you can use it as is. All right, digestion and stomach recipes. So for an upset stomach, you can make a 10 ml roller again. 15 drops of Digest. It is a brilliant oil. This, for me, I feel every family needs to have Digest. It's for all things digestion. If you eat food, you need this oil. So if you are bloated from eating too much, or maybe you're gluten intolerant and you had something that by mistake had gluten in it, this is going to help you. I have friends who are gluten free and they went traveling at the times when we could travel, and they actually they took their dajars with them, and they said they had zero issues eating all the breads and the things that they wanted to just enjoy while away. And they had that in their purse and just had it like as soon as they finished eating, use that, totally fine. So this roller is made for a sore stomach. Yes, Deep Relief is available in South Africa, Nikki. It's just currently out of stock, but it's coming back. Okay, so you're going to have a 10 ml roller bottle. You can add 15 drops of dajars, 10 drops of peppermint, fill it with carrier oil, and then that is one option. Fun fact, when you roll it on the belly and you go in a clockwise direction, this is if you are constipated, go clockwise to help the body to poop. If you are having diarrhea, you want to go anti-clockwise. So you go against, you're basically turning the tap off. So you want to go anti-clockwise and roll it that way, and you will actually find that you will not have diarrhea. So internally though, if you're like, oh gosh, I can't really handle anything, you can take a capsule with 1 to 2 drops of dajars and 1 to 2 drops of peppermint. Fill it with olive oil and take that with water. Okay, allergy recipes. Anytime we talk about allergies, we refer to this as LLP, lavender, lemon, peppermint. That is our little acronym, is LLP. So in the diffuser, you want to put 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of lemon, and 2 drops of peppermint. If we're using it topically, like in a roller, you want to do 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of lemon, 10 drops of peppermint, and you fill with carrier oil. For these, you are going to use it where you need it. Be careful because it's near your eyes. So I actually, again, prefer doing little dots instead of actually rolling. And then I use my fingers to just kind of massage it in. So that really helps for allergies. Okay, another one is taking it internally. So again, you can see in my picture, I've got vitality oils, but it does not matter if you have the regular labeled peppermint, lemon, and lavender. 1 drop of each in the capsule, and that's really going to help. So for good sleep, a lot of us are struggling to sleep because, I don't know, routines are all over the place. So we love white angelica. This also gets rid of bad energy and bad vibes. So if you guys are just feeling that there's so many just negative energy around right now with everything that's going on, white angelica really helps. It really does. So I like to even use this if, I don't know, maybe my in-laws are going to be over and I'm just like, you know, not in the mood, or there's going to be tension. It is such a good calming oil. So it's a great one for that. And also, if my kids say that they're having nightmares, I will put this in their diffuser. It works like a charm. I actually have a topical roller for both of them that I've personally put. I have a mini 5 ml roller for each. And I've put 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of white angelica, and 2 drops of Bala. And I love it. And we put it behind their neck and we put it on their wrists. So anytime we're doing emotional oils, we're doing it where we kind of use perfume. So it's behind ears and on wrists, okay? If there's something where there's a smell that you don't like, but you actually want to use the therapeutic benefits of it, put it under your feet, okay? So there is that. Then more good vibes and sleep recipes. This is some other ideas for you guys. For your diffuser, 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of cedarwood. Just watch with the cedarwood. It gives a lot of people some very intense dreams. So if you find like, whoa, I actually had like nightmares and such, add the white angelica. It totally like gets rid of that part of it. But cedarwood is such an earthy grounding oil and it smells amazing. So it's an interesting smell. Some people say, oh, it's kind of cat's urine, and others love it because it's so earthy. It's interesting. If there's an oil you really don't like the smell of, oftentimes it's what your body needs the most. So we encourage you to keep using it. And again, you can use it under your feet if you wanted to. So there's a topical roller, 1 to 2 drops of lavender, even neat under your feet. Okay, some mood uplifting recipes, so important. There is so much depression, sadly, going around because humans need humans. And so it's just been hard for all of us to be isolated. So we call this one our happy heart one. And we use this topically. And I realized, oh my goodness, I'm so over time. I'm really sorry. There's a lot to share on this. So for this roller, 10 mils of a roller bottle, 10 drops of joy, 10 drops of orange. You fill it with carrier oil. You can roll this before your hands like this, before use, or an up down. And we actually apply it to our heart clockwise, and we think like happy thoughts and have positive intentions. I also like it on my wrists and behind ears. It smells so, so lovely. This is for soothing skin. If you burnt yourself, this one happens to be an after sun spray is my picture, but this is really good if there are just generally, you know, itches or anything, mostly burns though. So this one's going to have a 50 ml spray bottle, 10 drops of lavender, 5 drops of peppermint, 1 teaspoon of witch hazel. You're going to add a tablespoon of aloe vera, fill it with water, shake before use, and just spray. So here's some things of how can we get these things? If you're like, wow, I saw this is awesome, how can I get it? So the Ningxia Red is incredible. You can actually order this as an essential rewards order. For those of you who are already using your oils, you're already on Young Living's loyalty program called Essential Rewards. If you are new and you would like to get started, this could be your first order. So it's called our Ningxia kit, and you're going to get 30 sachets of these Ningxia Red drinks. You're going to put them in your fridge. It tastes so much better. And you're going to get orange, peppermint, and lemon. By the way, we usually have lavender there, which is a wonderful oil, but right now it's out of stock. So until it gets replaced, we're using orange instead. So the cost of that is 1,472 Rand. It's bundled and it's wholesale to you, and it's valued at 2,000. It's like over 2,000 Rand. So you're getting a steal with that. And then the awesome thing is if you get started with that, you actually are going to get a wholesale membership account. It does not mean you need to purchase anything ever again if you don't want to, but you will now get wholesale pricing, okay? So it's just a pretty amazing perk that you get when you get started with Young Living. Okay, the other option is a premium starter kit, and this price, it should actually be 2,268. We say that the extra 100 is for shipping, but it would be a little bit less than that actually. So it's got a dewdrop diffuser. There are 10 essential oils, and they are lavender, lemon, peppermint, frankincense, which is amazing. Just that oil on its own costs a fortune. Orange, eucalyptus radiata, citronella, thieves, valor, and purification. Those are such beautiful oils to get started. And again, the actual kit value is 2,268 Rand. Sorry, the value is over 4,000 Rand. The cost is 2,268. A lot of the recipes that I shared today come from this book called Oil and Glass. I do my best to get these in South Africa as frequently as I can and as often as I can. If it is something you're wanting, let me know. I keep a list of people, and when they come in, I let them know. We've tried to get it to 680 Rand total. That is with shipping, customs, blah, blah, blah. It comes like to your door. So 680 Rand for one of these. And when I do another order, I let everyone know, and I go back to that list of people who wanted them. So kind of finishing this all up, our resources for you, we have our Facebook group. It's a private online community of oily friends and resources. So we have one called Hello Essentials South Africa, and then we have a bigger group called Hello Essentials, which is global. So if you have a friend who's just interested in oils and they live in New Zealand, they can be part of Hello Essentials as well. We have WhatsApp groups. So in there we share oily tips, recipes, resources, and of course people asking questions that we can answer. Instagram, we have our Instagram page at hello.essentials.south.africa. Follow us for inspiration and other things.